Lila was a young woman of 24. She lived in a small town. Her life was simple. She worked in a cafe. Her salary was very small. She wanted a better life, a life with money, comfort, and freedom. One day, she met a man named Richard. Richard was older, rich, and very polite. He wore expensive suits and drove a big car. He smiled at Lila, and she felt special. Richard started visiting the cafe every day. He bought coffee and cakes and talked with Lila. He was kind, funny, and charming. Lila liked his attention. He told her, "You deserve happiness. I can give you a better life." Lila was confused. She knew he was much older, but she also dreamed of a life without money problems. After a few weeks, Richard asked Lila to meet him outside the cafe. He took her to a fancy restaurant. He ordered expensive dishes and gave her gifts. Lila felt nervous but excited. Richard told her, "If you want, I can take care of you. You don't need to worry about money or work." Lila was surprised. She had never had so much attention or luxury. Lila went home and thought. She thought about her small apartment, her old clothes, and her tired life. She also thought about her parents. They worked hard but earned little. Lila wanted a better life for them too. After many nights thinking, she made a decision. She would marry Richard. She wanted comfort, money, and a new life. She did not know that love and happiness were very different from luxury. Lila's friends asked her about Richard. She said, "He is kind and generous. He will take care of me." Her friends worried. They said, "Be careful. He is much older. Money cannot buy love." But Lila did not listen. She felt this was her chance. She believed Richard would make her happy. The wedding was small but expensive. Lila wore a beautiful white dress. Richard looked handsome. Everyone smiled, clapped, and congratulated them. Lila felt proud. She felt rich. She thought her life had changed forever. But inside she felt a little empty. After marriage, Lila moved into Richard's big house. It was beautiful with many rooms, a large garden, and a swimming pool. There were chandeliers, fancy furniture, and expensive cars. Lila could buy clothes, shoes, and makeup without thinking about money. At first she was happy. She thought this was the life of her dreams. Richard gave her gifts every day. He took her to restaurants, trips, and parties. People admired Lila. She wore designer dresses and smiled. Lila felt proud. She told herself, "I made the right choice. This is my new life." But soon, Lila noticed something strange. Richard was often busy with his work and friends. He left early and returned late. Sometimes he was not at home for days. Lila felt lonely. She tried to talk to him. She said, "Richard, I miss you. Can we spend more time together?" Richard smiled and said, "Don't worry, my dear. I am doing this for us. Enjoy your life." Lila tried to enjoy her life. She shopped, traveled, and met new people. But she missed real conversation, love, and care. She missed feeling important, not just as a wife, but as a person. She started thinking about her old life, her small apartment, and her simple cafe job. Life was hard, but it was real and warm. Then Lila noticed something else. Richard often received calls in private. Sometimes he smiled at other women, and she saw messages on his phone. Lila felt a strange feeling in her heart, fear and sadness. She realized that Richard loved his freedom more than her. Money could buy gifts and luxury, but it could not buy love or trust. One night, Lila cried alone in her big bedroom. She thought, "I have everything I wanted, but I am not happy. I married for money, not for love. Did I make a mistake?" She understood that luxury was not enough. Lila felt trapped in a golden cage. She felt lonely, despite the wealth around her. A few months later, Lila saw Richard with another woman. She was shocked. He laughed and hugged her. Lila's heart broke. She could not believe what she saw. All the gifts, trips, and parties were not love. Richard was using her, and he loved someone else. Lila tried to speak with him. "Richard, what is this? I trusted you. I married you for love too, not just money." Richard laughed. "Love? My dear, you are lucky to live like this. Don't complain. Life is a game. I give you everything you want, and that is enough." Lila felt angry and hurt. She realized that she was only a part of Richard's luxury life, not his heart. Lila felt confused. She thought about leaving, but she had no idea how. She had no money of her own, no job, and no family support nearby. She felt trapped. The man she thought would protect her only used her for his ego and comfort. She cried for hours, thinking about her mistake. Then Lila remembered her parents. She remembered her dreams before she met Richard. She wanted a life with dignity, love, and respect. Not just money. Lila realized she had exchanged happiness for luxury. She had to be strong. She had to make a choice. The next days were difficult. Lila pretended to be happy at parties, dinners, and gatherings. Inside, she planned her escape. She saved some money secretly, contacted old friends, and thought carefully. She could not live a life where she was not loved. She knew it would be hard, but she wanted freedom, dignity, and real happiness. One night, Lila packed her small bag. She took her documents, some money, and a few clothes. She looked at Richard sleeping, smiling with someone else, and whispered to herself, "I deserve better. I am leaving this golden cage." She walked out of the house quietly, leaving behind all the luxury, gifts, and fake happiness. Lila returned to her old town. She rented a small apartment and started a cafe job again. Life was hard. She had to work long hours, but she felt alive and free. No one controlled her. She made her own decisions and her own money. She felt proud of herself. Lila met old friends. They helped her feel safe and supported. She smiled more. She laughed more. She remembered the warmth of real love and friendship. Slowly, Lila healed her broken heart. She learned that money cannot buy trust, love, or respect. True happiness comes from freedom, self-respect, and caring relationships. Sometimes Lila remembered Richard and the luxurious house. She felt sadness, but also relief. She realized she had escaped a life of loneliness and betrayal. She had taken a brave step to choose dignity over comfort. She understood that love and respect are more important than gifts and money. Months later, Lila started saving money. She dreamed of opening her own cafe. She wanted to create a life she could be proud of. She met kind people who treated her with respect. She smiled genuinely, feeling love and care in her heart again. Lila's life was not easy, but it was real. She learned a valuable lesson. Happiness cannot be bought. Love cannot be forced or bought. Respect, freedom, and trust are priceless. Lila was free, strong, and happy. She had her dignity back. She realized that a simple life with honesty and love is better than a luxurious life with betrayal and loneliness. Lila smiled and said, "I made mistakes, but I learned. I am free. I am strong. I am happy." And for the first time in a long time, Lila truly felt complete.